Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl remakes have been the most anticipated thing from the Pokemon community since even the time of the Wii U, since the release of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire for the 3DS. Fan art dropped, the people spoke, and we still didn't get anything. Instead, we got this amazing DLC. Thank you so much, Game Freak, love you. But can we please have Gen 4 remakes instead? Thank you. My name is Key, and these are the top 5 things in no particular order that I want to see in Sinnoh Remakes for 2021. Number 1. The Battle Tower. The Battle Tower was a fundamental part of Diamond and Pearl's post-game. If you're unaware of what the Battle Tower was, it was basically a place where you could fight really strong trainers with really hard AI consecutively to get to the end where you would fight Tower Tycoon Palmer, your rival's father, after a certain amount of battles. It's been introduced differently in later generations, such as the Battle Mason in Generation 6 and the Battle Tree in Generation 7. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, it has its original name and works pretty much the same as Gen 4. This is Sinnoh confirmed, people, for the 5th year. Anyway, back to my main point. The Battle Tower should definitely be in the Gen 4 remakes, since it's easily one of the most iconic parts of the game. Seeing it work like before in 3D would be as amazing as anything else. Number 2. A new mechanic. I know when I make this point I'm going to get a ton of Gen 1ers in my comments being like, oh but Key, new mechanics suck, Mega Evolution suck, Z-moves suck, Dynamax and Gigantamax, like shut up, hear me out, let me speak. Mega Evolution was probably one of the best things added to a Pokemon game, aside from Luxray and Lucario, and it had something to do with the plot of the game. However mild or trash the story of X and Y was, it was still linked in, and that links me to my point here. Game Freak adding mechanic like into the Diamond and Pearl remakes that links to the story, that sounds cool, right? Something like the equivalent of Primal Revolution from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, except with Dialga and Palkia, maybe even Giratina if they decide to do something with him, that'd be kinda cool. I don't want it to be exactly the same as Primal Revolution though, because that's just lazy. There's a ton of things they could do with those games. I just realised I'm calling them games, but they haven't even been announced yet. They probably won't even come to the surface till easily early 2021. That's a long way away. Big sad. Number 3. No clothing customizations. Now you might be thinking, why? Why wouldn't you want to customize your character? Well, this is for not 1 but 2 reasons. First reason, it means they get to spend more time on other things, rather than making sure there's 200 different customization options for both player genders. Other things which hopefully will make the game more polished and less of a target for keyboard warriors. Second reason, it stays true to the original game, where there weren't any customizations. They did this in Oras, and whilst I was a little confused at the time since I'd never played Ruby and Sapphire, yes, believe it or not, it was released before I was even born, I understood why they did it after seeing the original games. This would be a simple little touch, would bring back players of the original game back to Pokemon. Number 4. A new story or an expanded version of the original games. The story in Diamond and Pearl was good. 3 minor legendary Pokemon are going to be sacrificed for the world, and big bad leader of Team Galactic wants to harness the power of Dialga or Palkia. Pretty much a generic Pokemon story. Now imagine if they built on this and made it fully fledged, took advantage of 3D graphics and created a great game with great story and great post game. That would be brilliant, would sell well, get good reviews. It can only happen if Game Freak aren't lazy and do the bare minimum, which they have been doing since Generation 6. The games have been easy and less than you would expect. Number 5, the final point, for Game Freak to base the game off of itself. Now I confused myself while writing the title to this point. What I essentially mean is for Game Freak to not base the game off of Sword and Shield, and if they do, to improve heavily on the graphics. I've always said that all I want from Gen 4 Remix is Sinnoh in 3D, which if it does happen, we will obviously get. However, that's not to say that I don't want good graphics, and if Game Freak thinks that's all people want, then that's all they'll do. What I want graphic wise is good quality textures, actual battle animations, and all the Pokemon of the game, and in high definition. It is possible they're just lazy and rushed Sword and Shield. This would probably bring back fans who left after the release of Sword and Shield where they messed up big time with fan servers. So there you have it, those are the top 5 things that I hope for from Diamond and Pearl remakes. So let me know what you think about this list. I know a lot of this list is potentially controversial, so like if you agree, and if you disagree, dislike and leave a comment saying what you'd rather see. I'm genuinely curious to see what people's opinions on this are. Thank you for watching this video, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and have a great rest of your day. Ibby's racist, spread it.